Good morning, this is Dwayne, and today I'd like to talk about triads. You know about chords, of course. There can be 5-note chords and 4-note chords and complex chords, all kinds of chords, and of course you know that. But today I'd just like to take up triads. A triad, like trio or tricycle, is a 3-note chord, and they of course are the basic of all complex chords. So we need to really master triads first before we have hope of, dealing with 13ths and flatted ninths and all that complex kind of thing, and as well as voicing. A lot of the sound you get has to do with the way you position a chord on the keyboard. For example, here's a 6th chord, and here's a 9th chord. But if I voice it like this instead, that has a little different sound than if you play the whole chord. In other words, I was leaving something out. I was voicing in fourths right then. So it depends on how you voice a chord, but it all starts with a mastery of triads. So let's just think through triads. There are major triads, minor triads, augmented triads, and diminished triads. Okay, so let's look at major triads today. A major triad is a 3-note chord made out of the root, 3rd, and 5th of whatever the major scale is for that key. For example, if I'm in the key of C, that's the major scale right there. And it follows a formula that goes like this: whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. In other words, whole, whole, half, whole, half, okay? Now that's easy to see when you're in the key of C, but if you say you're in the key of B, what's a whole step above B? It's not C, that's a half step, so you go up to C sharp. So the second note of the B scale is C sharp. The third note is D sharp. The fourth note is F, that half step up. Then a whole step, which is F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and B. So we say the key of B has 5 sharps. And I know somebody will ask me, well, why can't that be D flat? Well, it could be, but that would be really confusing, because then you have sharps and flats in the same key, and it's easier just to keep it straight if you call them all sharps or all flats. Besides that, if you went from B to D flat, you would be leaving out C in that scale. You'd have no C. You'd go from B to D, right? So that just wouldn't make sense. So say you're in the key of B based on that scale. If you take the root, 3rd, and 5th, that's the major triad for that particular key, based on the root, 3rd, and 5th of that scale, okay? If you're in the key of B flat, you have to figure out what the scale is in the key of B flat using that same formula: whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So if I take the root, 3rd, and 5th of the key of B flat, that's the triad based on B flat. That's the B flat major triad. The A major triad would look like that. The A flat major triad would look like that. The G major triad would look like that, root, 3rd, and 5th. The G flat major triad would look like that. The F major triad based on the F scale would look like that. The E major triad based on the E scale would look like that, root, 3rd, and 5th. The E flat major scale goes like so. If I take the root, 3rd, and 5th, that's the E flat major chord. And the D major chord would be like that, the root, 3rd, and 5th. And D flat major chord would be like that, root, 3rd, and 5th of the D flat scale, okay? So there's 12 possible notes you can build a chord on: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 possible triads, right? 12 possible major triads. C, C sharp or D flat, D, and so on, okay? So if you're not already familiar with those, get familiar with those, because those are the basis for all other complex chords. So tomorrow we'll take up minor triads, and then we'll take up diminished triads, and then we'll take up augmented triads, and then we'll get on to the more complex chords. So that's it until tomorrow. So if you enjoy these kind of things, come on over to playpiano.com and sign up for our free series of newsletters and videos, and you'll get simple stuff like that, plus you'll get a lot of complex stuff as well. So come on over and sign up. See you then. Bye bye for now.